Another skip Sauntering Snippets. This one I have to read, and I'm in a parking lot, not driving, so it's okay. And I'm going to post this up later on because it really caught my eye, and basically it's all about ma'am. How ma'am went from being a respectful word for some, but polarizing for others. There are many things that can turn your day from good to bad, but there's one thing you're probably not thinking about: being called ma'am. I was completely unaware of how much women were outraged by this word until it started getting directed at me as I hit my mid-20s. Like the first time you aren't carded at the bar. I remember being called ma'am by a waiter and realizing, yes, he's talking to me. As someone from Seattle, what is it about Seattle that ma'am is a bad word? The term sounded foreign and out of place. It was like society had decided that without my permission, my youth was behind me. Well, you'll figure out who it is once I get home and I get back to the keyboard. Excuse me for just a sec. But really, somebody's trying to be nice, somebody's trying to be polite, and you get mad. Isn't that just significant of the moral faux outrage that seems to have infiltrated into our society? Really? Calling ma'am. The article goes on to say that how some of these younger women hated the idea of having society tell them that they are now old. I'm sorry. It happens. Every day you get a little bit older. And it's not our responsibility. Like one of the ladies in the post said she got verbally outraged at the person who had called her ma'am. That's not up to you to define for me that I'm getting old. Sorry. I'm from that older generation. I remember when I was first called sir, and I went, yep, there's another step. I'm not young. I kind of knew that already. And I compared that to when my eldest child went to kindergarten on the bus the first day, sitting at the end of the driveway. And then when he went back to that end of that driveway again, and he got into the car driven by the first sergeant of the U.S. Marine Corps on his way for boot camp. That's when the most esteemed wife and I knew we are no longer young. We are now middle-aged. So it happens, and you have to be prepared for it. And you also have to accept it, because you cannot change it. I really look at this, and I've only read the post a couple of times, but it all seems to be about me, that I get to define who I am, and you have to salute me for who I believe I am, not as you see me, how you see me in your eyes. It's sort of just like these pronoun nonsense that the transgenderism folks want to force upon us all. Exact same thing, only a little bit lesser in intensity. I'm sorry, you don't get to tell me how I see you, how I view you, my perception of you. I'm trying to be nice. How dare you be outraged at me trying to be nice at you, is really what it comes across as. I'm going to continue to say ma'am. If I really don't want to call you miss, I'm going to call you ma'am. It's just the way it is. It is a sign of dignity. It is a sign of respect. It is a sign of politeness. And I get tired of those people who are trying to get rid of it, saying it's old-fashioned. I'm sorry, manners never grew out of fashion, except at those places where it's all trying to be erased at all. Good luck with that kind of society. Because manners are the oil that prevent the friction of society from exploding or burning or seizing up. And these youngsters haven't learned that yet. Now, if somebody calls me sir, as I am now closer to 70 than I am 60, it's okay. I'm all right with that. I've earned my stripes. I'm just glad, as I keep telling, a bad joke really gone old. I'm just glad that my hair has turned gray and not loose. I've earned my battle scars. I've earned the age to where I'm at. And hopefully I have learned and been imparted a bit of wisdom by others for me to then pass on. Hopefully manners is part of that, but we'll see. Seattle, like I said, must be a very strange place where manners don't exist. Ma'am has already been written out of our language. And I think it's a perfectly fine word. But this younger generation, or other people, don't seem to see it that way, much to the rest of our detriment. I'm Skip, and this has been the ma'am edition of Skip's Sauntering Snippets.
Croc TV.